taxes के अंदर there are mainly two taxes that we talk about. ठीक है? One was the direct taxes, which are imposed on the incomes like income taxes and wealth taxes and all of that. And in a simple demand and supply situation, now when you impose taxes on people's income, what mainly happens is that the demand falls for the good. Okay? And as a result of that, the demand curve is going to shift to the left for that single product, and we expect that ceteris paribus, all other factors held constant, if the demand curve falls, our equilibrium moves from A to point B, where the goods price will fall and the goods quantity sold or traded is going to fall as well. Simple as that. Okay. The second tax that we talk about is called an indirect tax. Now, this indirect taxes are imposed on goods and services. So, anytime you get confused about the taxes, what are they talking about? Ask yourself, is it imposed on people's income? तो फिर ये demand को affect होगा. If it's imposed on a good, whether it's housing, whether it is an imported good coming from abroad, like custom duties, or if it's imposed on a pencil or a milk or any good. ठीक है? With that taxes, what happens is that since these taxes raises the cost of production for the producers, the supply curve shifts upwards by the tax amount, or indirect taxes say the supply curve shifts left, and when it shifts to the left, you have a new equilibrium with a higher price and the quantity that falls. Okay, this is the first impact, which is important for case studies and different MCQs, where you need to know okay, simple indirect taxes, how does it affect it? It can come as a part of correction for demerit goods and many other things as well. Even you can come up, they can come up with a question that simply how an indirect taxes can have an effect on the consumer surplus, producer surplus, and things like that. Okay. Now, if I look at this question right here, now before the taxes were imposed, जो consumer का surplus था before tax imposition, it was area below the demand curve and above the market price, which was at equal. Equilibrium के ऊपर. ठीक है, ये this was the original consumer surplus. When tax got imposed, your new price just went up, okay, and your new consumer surplus becomes area below the demand curve and above the new price because the prices have gone up. Now that's your new consumer surplus, the small area right here. By how much did the consumer lose its surplus? You can be asked to calculate it. So it's up to you. This is the loss in the consumer surplus. You want to use the area of trapezium, you do that. Or you can break it down into this rectangle plus this triangle. So you can do length into breadth and plus the half into base into height. Okay? And that could be the loss in the consumer surplus. But this is only for the case if they're asking for consumer surplus.